It's a big week. It's always exciting to go down and play the long, whatever those guys are, go down there and compete. One of the best teams in the country, and they are super physical and super talented, and so it's a good test. It's a good test for us, and I think we'll get a shot to see some kids really compete at a high level.
Coach, you seem like kind of elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, there's just moments where you look at great volleyball. We played Oklahoma toe-to-toe, who beats Iowa State this weekend, and they're a top 25, top 30 program. We are right there with the best in the country, but we've got to be able to do that night in and night out against the teams that maybe aren't the best in the country. And so we can play at a high level, but can we play consistent? And that's a key piece for how we want to go about this thing. Well, I think they're more physical than last year's with a couple additions. They're a little bit better in the setting position. They have a freshman setter who's one of the best in the conference in the freshman class. So they're very talented, very physical, but that mojo, you always have to have that special mojo. But they're one of the better teams in the nation right now. They're a top 5 team, and so it's a good opportunity for us to go get a good test. Well, it's always good. We love to play the Horned Frogs. In the spring we beat up on them a little bit, and so it's nice to get a chance at their place to go down and play in the fall when it really matters and the bright lights are on and it's Big 12. So, it's a good week for us. Well, there's no doubt we can beat them. We can play with anybody toe-to-toe. It's just can we hold our errors to a minimum and, allow them to make some errors. They're just so physical, but you just got to make them play volleyball. The longer the rally goes, the more balls you dig. We're number 2 in the conference in digging balls, so we can dig balls against anybody in the nation. Can we make them play long rallies and compete with them? And the same thing is true against TCU on Saturday. Well, it's tough to walk in the locker room and hey, we just hung a loss up there. But I give this team a lot of credit. Very mature conversation after this last week, very adult conversation, very direct, addressing what needs to be looked at. And that's a real tribute to their ability to care for each other, to support one another, and look forward about how are we going to get better, how are we going to go about this thing. And so I give this team a ton of credit for their maturity. Well, it's always nice to have a little emotional break, but there's also good in just the rhythm. We're in the conference rhythm of Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. So, you can look at it either way. And right now we need to play. We need to compete. And so I think it's good for us. Well, I think one of the things, it's always a fun environment. They bring a good crowd. It's going to be on national television. Gets your little pitter-pat going. It gets your heartbeat going. Let's go compete and play a great team. I think defensively, we worked really hard this last spring on quality of dig, numbers of dig, taking care of the ball. And we're receiving it at a high level. We're digging it at a high level. We just need to be able to block and attack at a little bit higher level. And so some things we've focused on in the spring have really transferred over to this fall in our defensive schemes and our passing schemes. So that's been a real plus. Now we just got to be a little bit better offensively. We always, every night, we're going in to compete toe-to-toe with the best in the country, and that's what we do. We'll play anybody anywhere, and that's what we want to do. And, let's just go test ourselves against some of the best teams in the nation. That's what the Big 12 is all about. Well, yeah, it's one of those where, it's the best to see how can we play against one of the best teams in the country. That's what this, every one of those athletes, when they came into my office and said, hey, I want to be a Red Raider, we said, these are the teams that you're going to have to go beat. So it's time to go prove it.